Hello everybody. Trump, JD Vance, and Elon Musk are taking a huge victory lap right now, guys. This is such amazing news. Literally an early Christmas present for the Trump administration. The dream team is doing everything that they can to do what? Make America great again, and it is happening. Experts were hit hard this morning while Trump's economy is booming. The new latest numbers, the GDP growth shattered estimates, and we grew at 4.35%. And they had expected it to grow at 3.2%. So just think about that, guys. This is literally a huge increase. We're talking, just insane growth, 30+% increase over what they thought it was going to be. This is Trump's economy, baby. JD Vance has come out on top as well as being the front runner after his huge speech. And guess what? Elon Musk right there behind him. And not only that, guys, I'm telling you, Elon Musk is back in the game like nobody's business. Elon Musk has come out in support of Texas Governor Greg Abbott's proposed law to hire a chief state prosecutor to circumvent George Soros paid off DAs. And not only for the state of Texas, but for every single state across the United States. Elon Musk is putting his money where his mouth is right now, guys. This guy's worth over $700 billion. And now he is backing Texas Governor Greg Abbott to circumvent and fight how George Soros put all his money into all these progressive DAs across the United States that are letting out dangerous criminals into our streets, letting them run free. These progressive DAs are literally leading to the murder of Texans by allowing the release of so many career criminals, guys. We have all the evidence to show you. This is insane. This is what they're saying. Elon Musk says he is in support of making this happen across all 50 states. This would be one of the biggest wins against the deep state we've ever seen, backed by the richest man in the world, guys. Let me know your thoughts. If you love this, hit that thumbs up like button, guys, because this is what we want to make America great again across the board. We also have Representative Randy Fine, who this morning has put forth his passage of his bill to ban the welfare for legal and illegal migrants. He said people should not be coming to America and then asking our children and grandchildren to go into debt to give them free stuff. Blue states, again, and all this is all culminating to what? The great divide that's probably going to happen in 2026, because blue states are doubling down on rejecting federal tax breaks on no tax on tips, no tax on overtime from the big beautiful bill, undercutting the benefits of tax cuts for their citizens in those states, those blue states. California, you have Maine, you have New York. Makes no sense whatsoever. Colorado, why would you reject the federal tax breaks for the lowest income earners when it comes to tips or overtime, only if you are trying to spite Trump and you hate Trump? We not only have it where President Trump has just assigned, guys, listen to this right here, guys. Get some popcorn, take a seat, get comfortable, because this is about to rock your world. President Trump has just assigned a strike team onto Tim Walz's Minnesota to investigate massive unemployment insurance fraud from the Somalis. The Secretary of Labor, Chavez DeRamir, has confirmed. They said, we are going to send in a UI strike team to find out exactly what's happening on the ground. We will not tolerate fraud under this administration. And again, it just keeps getting sweeter, guys, because every single day that we report on this channel of going against the fraud, the waste, and the abuse, that is more money coming back to the Americans, you and me. Joni Ernst, representative, has revealed $79 billion in fraud tied to Social Security checks. Democrats blocked verification of Social Security checks. There were many fake applicants. Dead people were paid. Illegal migrants were paid through these fake Social Security accounts. This has ballooned to, in the past 2 years, $162 billion of lost money through the Social Security program. She said this was a choice driven by their efforts to bring illegals into this country to replace their constituents. Holy smokes, guys, $162 billion in the past year of fake Social Security. I mean, just a fraud across the board, coming from our representatives who are laying down the hammer, investigating and exposing how corrupt every single one of these dang elite Democrats are. Guys, if you love this, guys, we got a big breaking show for you today. I just want to say thank you to everybody who is watching, and thank you to everybody that gave yesterday in our biggest giving of the year to these local charities. We gave $10,000 yesterday in yesterday's video to local charities, children's homes, to foster and adoption, crisis pregnancy centers, to helping out for churches to be built. Guys, amazing, $10,000. And guess what? Because so much people gave during the show yesterday, for the month of January, we are going to have an insanely huge donation again on the 22nd of January to help out these local children's homes, to help out these people that really need it the most. Thank you to everybody from the bottom of my heart, my family's heart, as we continue to grow and grow our giving. So give it up. If you appreciate everything that we're doing, guys, hit the thumbs up like button. And thank you. If you're not subscribed yet, join our family, hit that subscribe button, and give some special love to all those that gave yesterday, to those that gave off the live video. Elizabeth, Charlie Boy, thank you so much. Linda Harden, Virginia Pruitt, our boy Jim Barbato, Ruby Hoove, the Memphis Conservative. Thank y'all so much for your support. Show them some love in the chat. Thank y'all so much, everybody. Again, we got a big show today. This and what I'm going to show you today is groundbreaking. It's breathtaking of what is actually happening in America right now, guys. I'm telling you, this is going to bring about, to me, one of the biggest revolutions we've ever seen in our entire frame of the United States, just because we are rooting out the deep state like never before, guys. I want to show you this again, one moment, because your boy forgot to fix the thing. 1 second. I got you, everybody. Check this out.
Assassin in a good way. JD's an early favorite, and MAGA is only multiplying. Can't say the same for Democrats. It seems kind of like a civil war, socialists against liberals. They're attacking each other. The old guard panicking. A wave of far-left socialists are trying to hijack the party, it seems. And it's not just the midterms. The 2028 slugfest is officially on. Candidates are even getting makeovers. I'm not kidding. Quote, Democrats are changing their appearances in 3 main areas. You got fitness, suddenly they realize it matters. Styling, some got some gel and some facial hair. Some that can do it are growing it. According to Axios, J.B. Pritzker is walking 5 miles a day, which is 5 miles than he's ever walked in his life, probably.
Wow.
Josh Shapiro ditched the off-the-rack suits. Now everything is custom. Good job, Governor of Pennsylvania. And, of course, Mayor Pete is growing a beard, looking tough, trying to look exactly like Chuck Norris. Will that be effective? Let's be honest. This is a 2-horse race. You got Kamala against Gavin. CNN has them on a collision course. It is neck and neck. Right now, Gavin's got the edge, which tells you how bad things are.
Now, the Democrats are already talking about 2028. And it looks like they're going to nominate a California liberal who's presided over rolling blackouts, open borders, and unchecked violent gangs. They're just trying to settle on whether it's going to be Gavin Newsom or Kamala Harris.
Meanwhile, Charlemagne the God, a great guy, says Newsom's got too many skeletons. Watch.
It is about how you campaign, but it's more so about how you govern.
Yeah.
So I think that what people are going to be looking at are people's actual records, right? Like literally. So even if you are able to cut through, like a Gavin Newsom is cutting through, people are going to really look at his record because they've seen, what he's done in California. And I think things like people's records are actually going to come back to haunt them, when they decide to run for.
And you know what, everybody? You know what I love to show you right now is that the Trump boom is happening, baby. U.S. economy has grown 4.3%. the fastest in 2 years, smashing expectations, even with the tariffs, bringing in all the tariff revenue. Guys, if you love this, hit the thumbs up like button, guys. We got to get this news out there, guys. This is what we voted for. Not only that the Democratic Party is severely imploding upon themselves. What I'm about to show you, I promise you, I would never have imagined that you would see this. I would say this on this channel. But we now have it where Hunter Biden, who got a full pardon from his father, the only one that was actually written and signed by former President Biden in his signature, not the auto pen, is now ripping his dad Joe's presidency over immigration, Afghanistan, how he said the Afghanistan was a botched withdrawal. The immigration was horrible under Biden's watch. Like, you cannot make this stuff up, guys. It is as bad as it gets. And not only that, we have it where Elon Musk, oh, I love this dude, is now coming out in support against the George Soros DAs who have been 100% trying to make our country more criminally free. But now he is supporting Texas Governor Greg Abbott's proposed law to hire a chief state prosecutor that circumvents Soros's DAs, where they have left dangerous criminals run free. He said progressive DAs are literally leading to the murder of Texans. Guys, this is some of the biggest stuff in the world. This guy right here, Elon Musk, worth over $700 billion, is so active right now in so many things across X. But one thing that we are sure is that he is backing J.D. Vance for 2028. He's backing the GOP for the 2026 midterms. And now he's going after Soros and his group of guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys, because this is some of the best news I've ever reported. We need true patriots like Elon Musk to help us fight against the deep state. Jim Barbato, let's go, brother, with the super chat. I love it. Show Jim some love in the chat. OG of the family, thank you so much, brother. Ruby Hoof, thank you so much for gifting a True Life News membership. If you got a free membership from Ruby, show her some love in the chat, as well as the Memphis Conservative say good morning, brother. Joel in the chat, let's have an awesome show. Like always, God bless. Thank you so much, brother. And thank you so much, Ruby Who, for your super chat. Say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And guys, give it up to the OG, our brother Chris Prez, who with the gifted 20 True Life News memberships. If you got a free membership, show him some love in the chat. Give it up for our boy Chris, OG of the family. Guys, this is some amazing news. Everything that I'm showing you that's breaking this morning is just showing you the Democrats are losing it. We've got our boy Elon and J.D. Vance who are about to come and continue making America great again.
President.
Yeah, haunt them like how you did in the job you had before you tried to get a better job. Newsom turned a budget surplus into a deficit. Let California burn like hell. Built a billion-dollar bullet train, went nowhere, not finished, barely started, and turned the Tenderloin Inn to the Walking Dead. You been around there? But sure, let's put the guy in the Oval Office. The only consistent policy Democrats have left is their TDS, which you know is Trump derangement syndrome. Stephen A. Smith said, hey, it burned you guys once, it's going to burn you again.
Ooh.
They did everything they could to prevent him from being the president. Trump ain't going after these people, man, because of the election. He going after these people because they tried to get him to spend the rest of his life in prison.
Yes. Florida gubernatorial candidate Congressman Byron Donalds joins us now. Congressman, what about this makeover, the political makeover, as everyone queues up for 28? Does the public want a politician with a makeover?
No, they want a politician with a record. But this is why the Democrats are having to do everything else, because their record is horrible. We lived it the last 4 years. Wide open borders, crazy inflation, overspending, suppressing free speech, making people take vaccines when they didn't want to take them. That is the record of the Democrat Party. And it seems that they're just going further down that rabbit hole. They still want men and women's sports and all the other craziness. People are rejecting it. So what do they have to do? Oh, go get a makeover, go lose some weight, whatever. It's not going to matter at the end of the day because the Democrat Party stands for nothing. They still don't stand for anything except opposing Donald Trump. And that's simply not going to get it done in 2026 or in 2028.
But how do you explain Governor Newsom leading the pack? He's changing again. Now he's talking about not giving illegal immigrants free health insurance. He's talking about building up the border and sealing it off. He's changing his tactics, it seems, in order to be more of a national candidate. Is it working?
I don't know, and frankly, I don't care. Gavin can run if he wants to. He's the worst governor in America. His record is awful. Everybody knows this. It's also a reason why, I think if you look at some of their polling, all these Democrat potential candidates are all within 1-2 points of each other because they're all bad.
Guys, let me tell you this. They are so bad. Everybody on the dang Democratic side is so out of it. No, they do not realize that we have dang video to remind them what they have said and to show them the receipts. Like, guys, when I tell you this, it is mind-blowing. The video that you're about to hear Jasmine Crockett say pertaining to fraud, waste, and abuse. Listen to this.
There is a lot of waste, fraud, and abuse in the federal government, though.
I'm not going to say that there's a lot. I'm going to say that it does exist. I'm going to say that it exists. I don't think that there's a lot. I think.
So why are we so in debt, then?
We're in debt because we decide that we're going to reduce the income.
There is a lot of waste.
Do you hear this? These fake people, I'm telling you, you cannot make this stuff up. It is so bad. You want to know why we're so much in debt? Here are the receipts, everybody. I show you the things that you don't see on mainstream media because this is what matters. You need context with everything that you hear, and this is the exact truth of what has been used with your taxpayer dollars and why we're so much in debt. Listen to this.
This, Mr. Secretary, is a bag of bushings. This bag of bushings, stamped out by machinists, don't need a high school diploma. It's not anything high tech about this. All of this bag is compliant with the FAA specifications. How much do you think the Air Force pays for this bag of bushings?
I don't know, Congressman.
$90,000. This is a $90,000 bag of bushings that you need for any jet turbine engine just to operate. So the exorbitant cost due to DOD only buying commercial parts from the OEMs, which is essentially sole source, is literally driving us out of business. I mean, the interest on our debt alone is now exceeding, for the first time in American history,
guys,
the
you could literally pay $100 for that same bag of bushings, but the U.S. Air Force pays $90,000. This is why we're so much in debt. This is why these people, these deep staters, these lowlifes that continue to live off taxpayer dimes ain't worth a dime, and that's why they're going to lose, and that's why they're having a war within themselves.
Policy set that's actually going to matter for the American people. Are any one of these Democrats going to go and actually reform the Unaffordable Care Act, aka Obamacare, or change it unilaterally so healthcare premiums actually decrease in the United States? Is any one of them going to embrace nuclear power or natural gas, or dare I say coal, because it's effective, it's cheap, and readily available to lower energy prices for the American people? They're not going to do that. They're going to stick to the radical policies, but they might put more gel in their hair. Not going to matter to people in their lives.
Congressman, you know what's changed? No one talks about green energy. No one's talking about the world
what happened
coming
to green
an end.
energy?
The oceans are going to overflow the land. Al Gore's prediction of catastrophe if we don't go to electric cars. Nothing came true. Have you noticed that?
Of course I've noticed it. I notice it every day. but so has the American people.
Yes.
They know that in the wintertime, guess what? It still snows. In the summertime, guess what? It's still hot. But at the end of the day, people are trying to make ends meet day to day. They're not thinking about the planet Earth 150 years from now. And by the way, according to these same people, back from the turn of the century, Florida was supposed to be underwater. Listening to these crazy people, people are sick of the dogma. They're sick of the political rhetoric. They want to see action. They want to see results. This is why Florida is the best state in the country. We got the best governor in the country, Ron DeSantis. So when the proof actually hits the road, when people see what's happening in their lives, that's what they choose. They choose it every single day.
Congress is a lot different than governor. Why do you think you could do the job?
Guys, let me tell you this. This right here is literally shocking everybody. When Trump came in with the tariffs, when Trump came in and said, we're going to do things different, every economist said, we're going to go into a recession. Remember that? Everybody was talking about a recession. Guess what? Not even close. GDP grows and expands at the fastest pace in years. 4.3%. This is over a 30% increase than what they expected. And again, Trump is winning because this is where the Democrat policies are at. This is Judge Joy Kennedy. Earlier this month, she lowered the bail for a repeat violent offender to $5,000 in Cleveland. 5 days later, he killed Ben McComas. Don't hear about this on the mainstream media, do you? This is the soft on crime left-wing policies we have to root out. The George Soros DAs that we are fighting against, that do not prosecute, that do not hold these people accountable. Now we got our boy Elon Musk who's jumping on board to help fight against that as well. Guys, this is a revolution like nobody's business. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, and give it up for our boy Chris Prez with another gifted 20 TrueLife News memberships. Guys, that is 40 gifted TrueLife News memberships from our boy Chris. If you appreciate this, guys, you got a free membership. Show him some love in the chat. Give it up. Thank you so much, brother, for your kindness and your support in our giving. Ralph Campbell Mobile Welding, thank you so much, brother. Merry Christmas to you. Said Merry Christmas all, and thank you, Joel and family, for all you did yesterday and everything. Such a blessing. Lord bless you all. Amen, brother. Show pool player thoughts some love in the chat. And said, is Obama really getting indicted next month? That's the news that I'm seeing on my leaked news, guys, and I'm telling you this. I've got a pretty good record when it comes to the leaked news that I'm finding. Show pool players some love in the chat as well as Ralph Campbell and our boy Chris Prez, guys, because again, we are dropping the bombs. So much stuff is about to happen next month right here. You're hearing this before it even hits mainstream. Here are the guys who are actually in the mix of it all. Listen to this.
Mike Davis, the Viceroy, joins us. So Viceroy, in order, I've teed you all up for this. Okay, I started with Solomon and the breaking news on Brennan, which you've been telling us from day one. There's a grand jury. It's going to be in Fort Pierce. It's run by a guy I know very well that's a pros pro, and he's got a pros team around him. Be patient. This is happening. It's professional, and so, but it's going to really start happening in the first, January, February of next year. Now we got some news that there may be, his lawyers, Brennan's lawyers, are worried enough that they're already starting to screen process and change of venue and all that. Can you get us up to speed on your thoughts of the grand conspiracy case that looks like it's going on right now, sir?
Yeah, so Ken Weinstein was the George W. Bush head of the National Security Division. I know him, and he is representing Brennan in this case, and he fired off a letter name-checking me, saying that that I'm leaking grand jury information. I would say to Ken Weinstein that is categorically false. It's defamatory, and it's desperate. And I actually thought that Ken was a better lawyer than this, but apparently not. And he's obviously picked sides here. He's going to represent the lawfare Democrats when they politicized and weaponized our intel agencies and law enforcement to go after Trump, his top aides, his allies. I'm surprised that Mayor Brown, the law firm, wants to be involved in this mess. So maybe someone like Boris Epstein can take a look at Mayor Brown on this.
And good news that looks like things are moving. And there, as I asked John, I said, you very rarely, sometimes you have meetings and maybe prosecutors go and see what's going on. You very rarely drop a letter like this. It's pretty extraordinary. So that shows you that Brennan, who's one of the heads of the conspiracy, is not in a good place. The second thing we had was Tina Peters. They're going to go file today a motion in court about the pardon, et cetera, but it's about the machines. You've got, talk to me about this CFIUS, Dominion. What are you working on? What do you got for this?
Yeah, the Committee on Foreign Investment in the United States, or CFIUS, is an interagency government body chaired by the Treasury Secretary that looks at transactions, whether they're financial transactions or real estate transactions, to look at them from a national security perspective. And we had back in 2005, Smartmatic announced a combination or acquisition of Sequoia. And then back in 2006 and 2007, Congress, on a bipartisan basis raised national security concerns. And so CFIUS reviewed the deal. The parties withdrew from review, and Smartmatic divested Sequoia. What we want right now is for the Trump administration to declassify and make public this CFIUS review of Smartmatic and Sequoia back in 2005, 2006, 2007. Time has long passed, so they can't claim sources and methods, but we want to know, what was Congress concerned about with these voting machines from a national security perspective, that Congress on a bipartisan basis asked for a CFIUS review. So if there were national security concerns about our election machines, critical infrastructure, I think the public has a right to know. Do we have foreign governments like Venezuela, for example, tampering with these voting machines? And that's something that we need to find out.
Let me tell you this, everybody, and it's getting so bad, there's actually a video recirculating. This was posted by Right Angle News Network. This is a video from 2020 showing the Georgia poll workers acting suspicious while handing off a USB drive is now going viral again after it was confirmed that 300,000 plus ballots were illegally certified without poll signatures in Fulton County. I want to show you this, guys, because again, all this videos that's coming out, this lady who is sitting down with the blonde, I don't know if you call those dreads, but she's sitting down right here in the middle, grabs a USB, and then like suspiciously hands it off to the guy up here. This is the type of stuff that we're catching now, everybody. Look at this right here. She looks, she grabs the USB, she hides it, she's holding it in her hand. Like, this is so suspicious. Like, you don't do this type of stuff unless you're hiding something. She's got it in her hand. Look how she places it in this guy's pocket whenever she gets up. Look, leans up, looks at him, then just put it in his pocket right there. Do you see that? Look, as she's getting up, look at her hand right there. She puts it in his pockets. They're leaning together. She's acting like she's stretching over the table, and then she gets up and walks away. This type of stuff, guys, that happened, this is the smoking gun. Now that we know for a certain the election was stolen from Donald Trump in Georgia, because I want to pull this up real quick. How many votes did Biden win against Trump in Georgia in 2020? I think it was only like 16,000. It wasn't. It was a small amount. Okay, 11,000. Check this out. 11,779 votes. That is what the difference was. Now that we have found out that 300,000 ballots were illegally certified without poll workers, 100% Donald Trump won that, because this skewed in the favor of Biden. Okay, this is what shows you guys what happens. The enemy from within, the people that did everything they could to make sure that Biden won at all costs. Now we have the evidence, now we have the videos, and now we're getting to the bottom of it. People need to go to jail. Guys, if you appreciate our reporting, guys, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up, like button, this is big stuff. And show proud U.S. Navy veteran some love in the chat. Has been a member for 15 15 months. Let's go, brother. God, that's OG all the way. Show our boy Jeffrey had some love in the chat. Said, I love True Life News family. Missed yesterday. I was in meetings. Thank you all that give for the kids. Amen, brother. Thank you so much, Jeffrey, for your support. And Army Mom, welcome to the family. And if you served, thank you for your service. Show them some love in the chat. Thank you so much, Jeffrey. And don't forget to show our boy Chris Prez some love in the chat for his gifted memberships.
Is that when you say we're going to do it, the War and Posse will be up and go over Article 3? Do we need to direct that to Secretary Bessent, or is that something more that's Kristi Noem's area, or would it be Secretary Noem, or would it be over to Tulsi Gabbard? I mean, where should we direct our fire?
I need to get back to you on that, Steve. I would think that Secretary Bessent has declassification authority on this as the Treasury Secretary. Perfect. If not, then maybe it's something that could come from an executive order from the president.
We will hold off until you get back to us, and then we'll get everybody to go to Article 3, et cetera. Last but not least, and I'm going to have Joe Allen on a little later, because I know you've been working on this nonstop. Mediaite has an article, and I think if I haven't put it up, I'm going to put it up in a while, that talks about Fabrizio, the president's pollster, doing polling looking to 2026. And he comes up with this idea that the single biggest issue could be, next to the economy, the next biggest issue, and kind of overwhelms even the economy about how it's lopsided, is, wait for it, artificial intelligence. And particularly American citizens, MAGA, Republicans, conservatives, independents, Democrats, moderate Democrats, kind of what we call the American people, are sitting there going, hey, I don't really understand this thing, but I don't see where we have controls over, like, for our children and a whole host of things. And the spread's like huge. It's like 8 points or 10 points. But he's putting it in a way that, like, we're fighting for all these states to get in woke, and the tech bros are going to be the heroes because they're looking for federal regulations. Nothing could be farther from the truth. The tech bros wanted no regulations at all. They twice tried to slide in amnesty and got crushed, and they face planted. Now they're begrudgingly going to work with people, put it in. I just want you to put it in perspective. We now know from pollsters, and I'm hearing other pollsters coming in saying this is a massive issue with the American people, and they don't want overregulation, but they're not prepared to let the tech bros just run wild. Can you talk to me briefly about where we stand in all this process and trying to work and make sure we get at least some regulatory apparatus, at least around the 4 Cs? And I would love to see more, but around the 4 Cs, sir?
Yeah, I think President Trump should thank us. He should thank the Article 3 project and the War Room Posse for saving him from making a very bad decision by following the tech bros' advice and doing AI amnesty in the big, beautiful bill that, we crushed at 99-1, including the lead sponsor, Ted Cruz, voting against his own bill at 4 o'clock in the morning. And then they tried to do it again, this AI amnesty in the National Defense Authorization Act, or the NDAA, and we stopped that. We got we forced the tech bros to the table and forced them to embrace the 4 Cs. If you're going to get federal preemption, you're not going to have amnesty. So you're going to make sure we protect children, conservatives, creators, and communities. And that has President Trump included the 4 Cs in his executive order. And again, he should be thankful, because if they would have jammed through this AI amnesty in the big, beautiful bill, or the NDAA, and we would have seen, for example, states can't regulate teddy bears that speak sexually explicitly to children through AI pedo bears. If states can't regulate that, if states can't regulate water bills and energy bills going through the roof on everyday Americans, real Americans in real America, to subsidize these AI energy facilities, there would be big problems for President Trump and Republicans in this next election.
Well, guys, I'm telling you, like, if there's nobody, like, the deep state usually had a hand in everything, because remember, the tech bros, all of them, whether it was Facebook, who censored so many conservatives in 2020-21? Facebook, Twitter, which is now called X, Instagram. All these things happen, and guess what? It ain't happening anymore. You got too many people that are fighting on the side of right for America First policies that are fed up with seeing all this corruption. It's not happening anymore. You're hearing from them. Even when it comes to the new AI stuff, we are winning the fight. And I wanted to show you this because Senator Joni Ernst has exposed $79 billion in fraud after Democrats blocked Social Security checks. Guys, this is insane. With this right here, $79 billion in fraud could have been stopped with Social Security number checks. Democrats blocked verification. They paid dead people and fake applicants. This net losses ballooned to $162 billion. And the culprit behind it all, guys, the culprit is just lost again. In the state of California, Gavin Newsom tried to have his, and they passed this bill where if a child was trying to transition, the school could hide it from the parent. Federal judge has just blocked that for the schools from concealing gender transitions from parents, okay? This is how crazy this stuff is. And not only that, they've been caught in another massive fraud, guys. And this is why I want to go real quick into our partner, guys. I am so adamant about those that are going through any life change when it comes to your Medicare health insurance, guys. If you're turning 65 or you're over 65 and going through any life change, to call this number right here, call Chapter. It's not too late. They can still help you out if you're going through any big life change. And again, things are going to be happening. There's going to be an open enrollment in this next month of January, in this next Q1 of 2026. And it's good to go ahead and get your name in there for what's going to be the open enrollment plan. But this right here is a free service to you, and I want you to be blessed. They have saved hundreds and hundreds of people on this channel, thousands upon thousands of dollars when it comes to health insurance. Don't pay more than you have to. Go get your blessing. We had people save over $5,900 in health insurance through them, $3,000 a year in health insurance through them. Savings, big time. The number is 667-895-3015. Don't miss out on your blessing. The number's in the description of this video, as well as at the bottom of the screen. Go get your blessing, because I'm telling you, this, with everything that we're seeing now, please do not pay more for your health insurance than you have to. Because what you're about to see, this is coming from some of the biggest fraud ever exposed on this channel, coming from one state, guys. And this is super important. Listen to this.
Of the Trump administration's crackdown on illegal migration and the removal of criminals from the country. The U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services telling Fox News Digital, since President Trump's second inauguration, they've referred more than 14,000 immigration cases to ICE for national security and fraud concerns.
Let's go.
182 of those numbers confirmed or suspected national security risks. The agency also issuing a record-breaking 196,000 notices to appear to put migrants into removal proceedings. I spoke with White House border czar Tom Homan about the current state of affairs at the border. He joined me on Sunday Morning Futures.
We have the most secure border in history of the nation, which saves lives. Look, when 95% less people are coming, how many women aren't being sexually assaulted making that journey? How many children aren't dying making that journey? How many Americans aren't dying from drug overdoses? But most importantly, I want to talk to you because you're right. There's been a change. There's been an awakening of the younger folks. I look forward to talking eye to eye with them all over today because they are wakening up. I think what happened to Charlie Kirk has started a movement that can't be stopped.
Yes.
And I'm happy to be a part of that and educate these people on the truth. Not what you read in the media. I'm going to educate them on the truth of what President Trump's actually doing for this country.
DHS Secretary Kristi Noem is now offering $3,000 to any illegal who wants to self-deport by December 31st. You've got 7 days. A new, quote, Home for the Holidays effort. Emily, your reaction for this Home for the Holidays new program?
I mean, it certainly sounds cheaper than the millions of taxpayer dollars funding illegal aliens to live there, their housing, their Medicare. As a higher education reporter, I can tell you that universities across the country are using taxpayer dollars to fund scholarships, resources, and even free legal services for illegal aliens here in this country and their family members. I reported this year that the California State University system has used over $42 million in taxpayer funds to provide free deportation defense to illegal aliens and their family members. So yes, this $3,000 sounds a little bit cheaper than that.
Yeah.
I don't ever want y'all to forget, everybody, that these videos will forever haunt the Democratic Party. Look at this. That just no idea. Criminals, terrorists, we have no idea. Is that the majority of them? You don't know. We don't know anything. That was the problem. All this happened under Biden's watch. It was intentional. And now we're actually rooting it out. We're getting to the bottom of it and we're trying to clean things up. But this is insane that this was actually allowed to happen to the United States of America. Look at this. Just insane. And that's why this is so important that we continue to expose it. We continue to report upon it so that people don't forget. There's always so much news that's happening, but we need to remind people. That's why I appreciate it when you share our videos. And if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, this helps to get our videos out there. People need to continue to be reminded this is what the Democrats did. Thomas Brewer, thank you so much, brother, for the super chat. Let's go. Said you are doing great work helping the kids like you did yesterday. Keep us informed about the crooks and upcoming arrests. You're the best. Appreciate you, brother. Thomas, thank you so much for your support. Show Thomas some love in the chat, as well as Darcy's T Corner. Been a member for a whole year. Let's go. Show Darcy some love in the chat. Said y'all know nothing about the World Economic Forum and DARPA. These are the deepest state companies. We need to be praying for real. Amen. Show them some love in the chat. Thank y'all so much, everybody, for your support.
What do you think, Mark?
Well, look, it's a good deal for them. They get $3,000 for the holidays. And it's a good deal for us because it saves us $17,000. And, you know, probably the biggest takeaway here is that President Trump, when he came into office, he promised results. He promised that he was going to enforce the law. And that's exactly what he's doing. He's enforcing the law, providing us with results. And per Tom Homan's comments, we have the most secure border in the history of this country, thanks to his policies. And the fact that there were 182 national security risks flagged, let's be honest, that's not immigration. That's what we call infiltration.
Yes.
And we need to ensure that we maintain a secure border and do whatever it takes to not allow those people in the country again.
Well, more than 125 Democrat lawmakers are urging the DHS, Department of Homeland Security, to withdraw this proposed rule, which affects green card eligibility, Mark. The rule would allow denial of green cards for immigrants who use public benefits. So if they use Medicaid or food stamps, they are eligible to get denied. Democrats are arguing that this would create uncertainty and inconsistent decision-making by immigration officers. What do you think about this, Mark?
We cannot be everybody's sugar daddy, okay? Like, money doesn't grow on trees. If you need a welfare check, you're not getting a green card. It's pretty simple. I mean, I think most Americans probably agree that immigration should not just be a path to welfare. Money doesn't grow on trees. We need more. We need to find immigrants who are actually contributors, who provide something to society, and fewer people who are dependent on welfare benefits. I mean, that's not a good way to build your country when you're allowing people in that consume the resources that those who are working hard are contributing to this economy.
What do you think, Emily?
The American taxpayer should not have to foot the bill for illegal aliens. And look, it's been a remarkable year at the border. More than 100,000 criminal illegal aliens deported under this president. And of course, many of them with those lengthy criminal rap sheets. But my major concern in 2025 was, of course, the 1,000% increase in assaults against ICE agents. In 2026, of course, I want to see that number fall to 0%. But in order to do so, we need to crack down on those tools and websites that are enabling criminals to dox ICE agents. I reported this year that a former NYU professor is operating operating a website that uses facial recognition and artificial intelligence in order to reveal the identities of ICE agents. The U Chicago student newspaper is also running an ICE tracking website that reveals GPS coordinates of ICE enforcement operations. These tracking tools fueled the assault on ICE agents in 2025, and those agents deserve better in 2026.
Yeah, great points all over.
Let me tell you this, everybody. Right now, again, this came out this morning, y'all, that Judge James Boasberg, one of the biggest fighters against the Trump admin and his policies, the conservatives are demanding the impeachment of this judge because he is now ordering the hearing and due process for over 130 Venezuelan illegal alien criminals that were removed under the Alien Enemies Act. You cannot make this stuff up, everybody, of how much they are using the judicial system to slow down the Trump admin, to continue to put a stopgap instead of allowing Trump to execute his Article 2 powers and making America safe again. He's fighting for the criminals. Where in the world does this make sense? Like, this is literally happening right before our eyes. And again, who gets held accountable? This is mind-blowing. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, because it's not only that. I wanted to show you this because when it goes back to how much these blue states severely hate, I'm telling you, anything that Trump does that is a benefit to everyday Americans, they hate it. And now you are seeing that with this economic boom, that the GDP growth shattered the estimates, and instead of growing at 3.2%, as expected, it grew at 4.35%. Huge, huge growth. The Democrats are doing a lot of things to spite American citizens and blue states. You're about to hear this, but I want to give it up again to our boy Chris Prez with the gifted 20 TrueLife News memberships. Holy moly, golly. Show our brother Chris some love in the chat, everybody. That is 60 gifted TrueLife News memberships today. Give it up for our boy for helping us grow our family, growing our voice. Brother, you are so kind. Thank you so much for your support. We couldn't do it without you. And also get up for Kathy Brewer, who's gifted 5 TrueLife News memberships. Show them some love in the chat if you got a free membership from Kathy or from Chris. Amazing givers, amazing people. That's the spirit of this channel, guys. Yesterday, we gave $10,000 to local charities. And again, because of what was given to yesterday so much in the month of January, because remember, we give on the 22nd of every single month. The month of January, we're going to have a huge donation as well. And I'm telling you, it's partnering with you. It's your giving. It's our giving from TrueLife, from me and my family. And we just want to continue and our channel be known as a giving channel. But listen to this, because I'm telling you, people are getting fed up with the politics.
The IRS didn't have time to change all the forms, and so now everybody's going to get huge tax refunds if they were overtime workers, if they're seniors, if they had tip income. All those things are going to be refunded, those taxes this year when they file for their taxes.
That's Trump economic chief Kevin Hassett spreading the good news about tax cuts. Joining us now is Congresswoman Claudia Tenney of New York and Congresswoman Beth Van Dyne of Texas. Ladies, great to see you. Thank you for being here. Congresswoman Claudia, let me come to you first because we've got all this great news about the tax cuts. We talked about it with Art and Steve Moore. But a lot of blue states, and yours in particular,
right here.
I say in particular because both you and I live in the state of New York, but other blue states as well, and Washington, D.C., want to deprive their citizens of these tax cuts. That is, expose them to taxes on tips, on overtime, to give the break that seniors were hoping to get from the Trump tax cuts. They want to deprive, so it's like a big lump of coal in their Christmas stocking.
You cannot make up what the report of the title of this video that I'm showing you says at the bottom. The title, New York rejects Trump's no tax on tips and overtime. Like, how? How could you do that to American citizens? You literally were putting illegals up in the Roosevelt Hotel. Like, what is wrong with y'all? And guys, if you appreciate what we're bringing, guys, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, this to me, people need to see this.
going on there? Don't those politicians care that people like the idea of tax cuts, particularly if they're struggling as a waiter or a cabbie?
Look, they're doing everything in New York to sabotage everything President Trump and the Republicans have done. The New Yorkers are really excited about these things happening. They're raising taxes. They're continuing our catastrophically bad energy policy, which is the real reason we have high unaffordability in New York. It's because of all the extras that come from having, an unstable grid, really high energy costs, really high wages, really high regulatory regime. And as you were just talking about with the last two gentlemen on The Economist, what we've done in the tax cuts is not only have we lowered taxes, given incentives to small businesses to reinvest and create jobs and to create growth, which is what we need, we've also cut regulations and we've unleashed American energy. All those things will be working to benefit New Yorkers, but New York, again, is going to look at raising taxes and everything they can do to increase all those very things that are going to benefit New Yorkers, all because they want to just, eviscerate any of the gains that could be made on the federal side by President Trump and the Republicans in the House and
Beth
Senate.
Van Dyne, you don't have those tax Scrooges in Texas, right? The Texans are going to feel the full force of these Trump tax cuts.
And as a result, Texas is going to continue to be the recipient of constituents who are voting with their feet from places like New York and California, because policies matter. And exactly right. This is what the Trump administration is trying to do. It recognizes the fact that we've got increases in costs. So what they tried to do with this bill was to be something for everyone, whether or not it was the hardworking folks in restaurants, giving them no tax on tips, or our law enforcement, no tax on overtime, or our seniors who are facing some of the highest increases in inflation under the Biden administration that they've had, and giving them a tax cut as well. We're going to get $100 billion less in taxes this next coming year as a direct result of the Republican and Trump administration tax policies. This is important. And what you're seeing in these blue states is they're going to continue to have a divide, because Democrats don't look at it as your money. They look at it as their money, and they've already spent it before you've made it.
Absolutely.
And again, guys, that is the number one thing of truth that's ever been said. It's not your money, it's the Democrats' money, and no matter what, they never spend less. And this goes across the board for Republicans and Democrats. You can't tax people more, because you know what? It doesn't matter. The Congress does not slow down their spending. We showed you earlier that Senator Joni Ernst said that there was $79 billion in fraud alone when it comes to all the amount of payments that have come out just from one committee, from the Pandemic Response and Accountability Committee, found that if we just checked their social security numbers, we didn't even validate that. We didn't even check. People that were asking for money during COVID, we didn't even check their social security numbers. We lost $79 billion to fraud. This is what the Democrats intentionally did. It was a slush fund. They still oppose verification measures, regardless that we've lost in total $162 billion that they have found already from the PPP loans and the EIDL loans. $162 billion in fraud. We're saying, hey, we found $162 billion. That's a lot of money. Let's put in some verification checks. Let's make sure the social security number is good. And Democrats are saying, no, we cannot do that. This is where I get so fed up, guys, because I'm so irritated that you do not get a choice as a taxpayer. You go and work, the money is pulled out automatically, and then all of a sudden you owe taxes. And they're worried about you making sure you do your taxes and paying your taxes of $600-700 a year that you may owe. But you got hundreds and billions to trillions of dollars of fraud in the government. But yet the Democrats don't want that to be audited. They don't want DOJ to go and look at those numbers. If this doesn't spell out corruption, I don't know what does. How do we fight against this? How do we vote against this? How do we make sure that we can slowly start just removing these horrible people that are abusing the taxpayers' money? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, because, guys, I got a lot of ideas. But I'm telling you what, a lot of things are going to change with AI, with crypto, And a lot of these, like you can see the Democratic Party is imploding right now, and we're catching them in all their fraud, waste, and abuse, and people are sick of it.
By the way, Beth, do you know if Jasmine Crockett, if she's elected, would she push for taxes? Of course, Texas has zero income tax, state income tax. Do you think Crockett would try to institute it in Texas? And what would Texans do to her if she did?
So if she wanted to do that, then she should have stayed in the House where she was, because that is a decision that Texas, the state legislature makes for Texas. She didn't stand a chance of doing it then, and she absolutely doesn't as a federal, as a U.S. senator.
Yeah. Claudia, let's talk about Mamdani, the Marxist in Manhattan. Is he going to get I don't think even though he and Trump seem to get along pretty well in the Oval Office, I don't think he's going to get a bailout from Donald Trump, President Trump. Is he going to get a bailout from the governor of New York, and whether it's Governor Hochul or a newcomer?
Look, Governor Hochul endorsed him early on, much to everyone's surprise. She's embracing the extreme agenda that he has: Marxism, anti-Semitism, anti-police. And I think this is the one thing that really, I've talked to a lot of billionaires, and I'm sure Beth has as well, in New York City. They're less worried about paying more in taxes, although they're going to be getting a little bit of break because of the adjustments to the state and local tax deduction. But what they're most worried about is security and safety within New York. His defund demoralized the police movement, his willingness to not cooperate with ICE and taking dangerous cartel members, narco-terrorists out of New York City who are causing the crime. That's what people are going to be worried about. And that's where so much of New York's money is going. Billions and billions of dollars being spent on illegal immigrants, including cartel members, for all kinds of things that they haven't earned or don't deserve, and they should be deported. But we're going to see what he does. They're going to continue to protect those people against the will of the people, even in New York. Beth, so let's see what happens.
I only have 15 seconds, but how good do Texans feel now about the border after President Trump fulfilled his promise to secure it?
Yes.
You got 7 months of no criminal illegals or illegal aliens being released at the border. You've got 2.6 million who have deported or self-deported. And now you're seeing housing costs decrease as a direct result of people getting kicked out of housing or being deported that should never have been there. So Texans are definitely experiencing this. I think the rest of the country is as well. But this is what happens when you actually enforce the laws. We didn't have to have a massive new bill, but we're doing exactly what we can to support immigration and customs enforcement. As mayor of a city, I experienced it firsthand when you work at the local level with the state and federal and you deport the people who shouldn't be there. We had more people who moved in, more businesses that wanted to be here. And this is a model that works across the country. I highly recommend this to blue states, to blue cities. Get on board. It works.
I wish our leaders, other than Claudia, would take your advice, because it's not rocket science. We know what works. We know what doesn't. Congresswomen have a
Let me tell you this, everybody. And what's working and what's worked is we continue to expose, and this continues to happen, everybody. Trump came out after the numbers came out this morning that we've had some of the biggest success due to good government and tariffs. Consumer spending is strong. Net exports are way up. Imports and trade deficits are way down. And there is no inflation. This is what we voted for, everybody. And what I love is that, again, one of the biggest things that we've been fighting is affordability, and especially affordability with housing. Because God knows that these stupid interest rates, like, if it's crazy. If I was to go and get a loan out on my home right now with the interest rates that are today, and I would literally be paying for my same house $1,400 more per month. $1,400 more per month. I don't know about y'all, but that's a lot of money. And this is insane that what I'm about to show you next is that Trump team is teasing a new, that's what it says, a sweeping affordability change for housing. I'm super excited about this, guys, because again, we can make housing cheaper. Trump is already making energy cheaper, gas cheaper, no inflation. Wages are going up. This is what Trump knows how to do. Man, I love this. If you love it, guys, hit the thumbs up like button. Check this out.
Up a big list of economic ideas, including a slate of housing affordability proposals. Housing costs remain one of the biggest pressure points for American families. Vice President J.D. Vance acknowledging their impatience while offering a word of caution.
My friends, there is so much more to be done. And the people saying we need to be doing more, we need to be doing it faster, trust me, I hear you. Greatness awaits every single one of you in the America First movement we are building together, but we need your help to get there. Don't hand power back to the people who tanked the economy in the first place. Join the America First movement, and you will always have a place on our great team. Next month will be the official one-year anniversary of the Trump administration, and I am damn proud of our record so far.
All right, Griff, last week I was quoting Guns N' Roses, patience.
Good.
Okay, that's the administration.
Yeah.
They want
just
some
a little
patience, okay? But this speech made me think of another one of my favorite bands, Boston. Don't look back. J.D. Vance is saying, don't go back to the guys who got you into the mess you're complaining about. But my question is patience a good political pitch? And how much more do these guys have to ask for with the American people who kind of say we're fed up with prices?
You know, that's a great point, Brian. And, you know, I wish they would steal a line I've been using over the weekend saying that you can't be the arsonist and the fireman at the same time. Mm-hmm. So if you go back to the 9% inflation that was under President Biden's term, and now all of a sudden Democrats are saying that they've got affordability solutions. Well, what is that? Higher taxes, taxing billionaires. I mean, there's no actual sort of roadmap that differs from what the Trump administration is doing. I think on the messaging, they could maybe be a little clearer on what that patience looks like. Like, walk it out for me. So I see private investment capital is going to create more private jobs. It's going to increase wages. So what's going to happen? Is the Dow going to hit 50,000 in June of 2026? Like, give me something to see.
Get in the
that road.
You want them in the prediction game.
Well, just to walk it out a little bit, because that way you can compare and contrast. Say, Democrats are saying they've got a plan for affordability for you, but here's where we see you in 6 months from now. And, you know, look, politicians hate making predictions because if they don't come true, then it's, you know, comes back on the record. But I think that when you look at the deregulation, the tax cuts hitting, wages continuing to increase, you can probably make some broad-based predictions that Americans can hold on to.
So Kevin Hassett.
Let me show you this, everybody, because you cannot make this stuff up. I mean, we try to bring you all this breaking news. There is a terror group who is suing Texas as Paxton steps in to defend Texans. Ken Paxton, the AG of Texas, is defending Texas after CAIR sued to overturn the state's designation of the group as an Islamic terror organization. So again, Greg Abbott and them have proclaimed and identified CAIR, I don't even know how you pronounce it, and the Muslim Brotherhood as a transnational criminal organization. And now they're suing the state of Texas because they've been designated as a what? As a terrorist organization. But this is the Democrat side, guys. This is, again, what happens when you allow the Democrats who bring in the people that seriously hate America. They hate our values. They hate everything that we have to stand for. And then they want to come in and they want to bring in their values, which don't align with American values. They don't want to assimilate. And this is what you get. This is what American taxpayer dollars will be spent on, of fighting lawsuits from these designated terrorist organizations. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. You just can't make up how crazy some of this stuff is.
Jackie is teasing this trip down to Mar-a-Lago after Christmas, okay? They've got a whole bunch of housing proposals that he says the cabinet secretaries have already signed off on. They're going to bring them down, hash it out. Does that make you optimistic about the messaging that the Trump administration can bring into 2026? Or do you get worried that they're going to go down the road of gimmicks and it's going to actually muddle their message about what they can do in the new year?
Yes and no is my short answer. I'm glad that you came to me on housing because I'm passionate about this. I think the Trump administration has been sitting on some things so that they can do some reveals. They've worked on the things they can handle right now, and they're looking at housing and saying there still is more work to be done. The good news is you've got a 30-year mortgage, according to Freddie Mac's website, at 6.21%. I think think there's room for about a point reduction in that over a 6-month time frame. Remember, in May, we say goodbye to too late. Okay, so no matter what the Fed decides to do until then we're going to get somebody new.
Are you
going to
throw a little party for him in May, like a little? I mean, too late is right now party or something?
You know, I may have a couple of drinks, but not for the reasons he thinks that I am. No, but so this is a positive thing for the market overall. I don't want to see rates go artificially low to zero when you talk about gimmicks, but I think there's about a point there, especially with that inflation number coming down. The Fed can focus on the labor market. Right now, the labor market is signaling that cuts should be on the way. So that's point number one. Point number two, there are different mortgage situations the president's looking at. Personally, I find these a little gimmicky, and I'm not a huge fan of the portable mortgage
the portable
or the 50-year.
50-year mortgage, okay.
Yeah, like let's stick with the 30-year fix. Let's get rates down. Let's get supply up, and all of a sudden good things will start to happen. I don't think you need to complicate it in that way, but there's one thing left, which is cutting the capital gains tax. They've floated that. We were talking to Steve Forbes about it last week, and he was saying if you cut that, you're going to open up floodgates in a major way, increasing revenue for the government, because people are sitting on that, locking it up because they don't want to give away what they think is their equity and what they've earned or the appreciation on the value of their home. And so when they sit on it, the government gets nothing, actually. So now maybe you'll get something and people will feel like they're getting something, and you create a situation where people can downsize and they can move around a little bit more freely. And then, of course, the administration has been reducing regulations to get more people building. So I think they'll continue with the push for that. But all inside that neat little package that I wrapped up for you are some things that they can do for housing.
So I'm telling you, everybody, Trump with this economic boom, and again, you cannot, guys, when Bloomberg is saying U.S. economy expands at the fastest pace in years with 4.3% GDP gain, Trump is doing, like, I'm not joking when I say this that's coming up, for 2028, Trump is setting up Vance for success. I say Vance, the president, Rubio as the VP, and then DeSantis can be like, I don't know if you'd want to be Secretary of State, but he could be one of the top admins. But them compared to the Democrats, like, it's literally a joke. Newsom has failed California. Harris couldn't even make a coherent conversation. Ocasio-Cortez literally has done nothing for her district. And Pete Buttigieg, I mean, look, man, he failed as the Secretary of Transportation under the Biden administration. There you have, it's completely pros versus some elementary schooling over here compared to skill level and what they actually can do. Put it in the chat, guys. Vance 2028. I'm ready to see it. I know you are too. If you appreciate all this, guys, hit the thumbs up like button. And Jeff Larson, $2,000 Doge checks are coming next June, July. And guys, I'm telling you, Trump is going to make sure that people feel it. There's a lot of stuff coming in the month of January because remember, the budget runs out. They're going to have to do another budget reconciliation bill. They're going to have to do another funding of the government because by the end of January, lots of things are going to change. We got Brennan who's going to be put on, they're going after Brennan with the grand jury for what they've done, you know. A lot of criminals are going to be charged in January. Lots of things are going to happen in 2026. This is probably going to be one of the biggest years ever in our country, along with the midterms. So we're going to be here for it, guys. You know we do a show every single day. If you appreciate this, guys, if you're not subscribed yet, please consider subscribing to our family. Don't forget our partner chapter. Guys, if you are dealing with Medicare or you need help in any single way, you're going through any big life change, don't hesitate to call this company. It is a free service to you. Go get your blessing. They've saved people thousands and thousands of dollars when it comes to their Medicare insurance, guys. And I just want to see more people being blessed. Tell them that Joel sent you from TrueLife News. The number is 667-895-3015. I promise you, you will be blessed. The number's in the description of the video as well as the bottom of the screen. But guys, we want to give it up because, again, I want to remind everybody, yesterday, at the end of yesterday's show, we gave $10,000 to local charities live on stream. With your support, next month on January 22nd, because we always do our giving on the 22nd, we're going to give one of our biggest donations ever again with your support. And I want to give it up today to our boy Chris Prez with the gifted 60 TrueLife News memberships. Show our brother Chris some love in the chat, everybody. If you got a free membership from him, show Ruby Hoove and Kathy Brewer some love in the chat for their gifted memberships. Thank y'all so much for your kindness and support. Show some love to Kenny, Hart, whosoever. We welcome you to the channel, Kenny. Show Kenny some love in the chat. Our boy Jim Barbato, OG of the family. Thank you so much, Jim, for your support. Thomas Brewer, faithful supporter of the channel, OG as well. Thank you so much, Thomas. Army Mom, welcome to the family. Our boy Jeffrey Hatt, OG of the channel. Thank you so much, Jeffrey, for your support. And proud U.S. Navy veteran who's been a member for 15 months, everybody. Show them some love in the chat. Our boy Ralph Campbell, Mobile Welding. Pool Players Thoughts, Ruby Hoove, the Memphis Conservative. Thank y'all so much for your kindness and support. Darcy's T Corner, been a member for a entire year as well. Thank y'all so much for sharing our videos, liking our videos on X, on Facebook. We appreciate you so much. Give it up for, to those that have given today in the chat. We appreciate y'all so much, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.